Salido, as we said, is the action fighter in boxing.
Build that image. These are amazing lives. You know, to go through what these guys have gone through, to be where they are. And they're not rich. They're not celebrated. They're just fighters.
To win these kind of fights. And if he is, does that mean that Roman has a finally not just be in a really good, tough fight against a fighter like this, but win it?
Yeah, Roman is going to have to show a little on in his other big moments, because like you said, he's fallen short in those big moments. And Salido has to show that he still has enough in the tank to compete with the
Well, this is Mickey Roman to the bulls, Salido to the ropes with his shoulders, and then he starts hammering him to the body. And now Salido trained, looking for space. And he's Prav and Miguel Mickey Roman. So Roman goes forwards a couple punches and gets Salido back where he was.
Quite good enough to be champions. Roman insists that he hasn't had the kind of support, the nutrition, all those things, so it puts him at a disadvantage. He believes he has that now. He's fighting like it right
now. A little bit of a slow start from Salido.
The things that the A side has.
Mentioned the slow start for Salido. That's one of his identifiers, more or less known for that. You look at all of his big fights, virtually always is given away the first two rounds, or not given away, had them taken. It's a truism of guys who fight as long as...
See if Salido follows up.
Roman was badly hurt by that right hand.
So once again, Salido hadn't shown...
Here we see Salido paw with the left jab and comes around the gloves of Roman with a beautiful overhand right hand that badly hurts Roman, and that hurt him for the duration of that round. Another angle, beautiful overhand right from Salido, and Roman's first.
Rudy Hernandez is a lifer. He's still second. He operates sometimes out of the late, great Hernandez, perennial candidate to get into the end. Hasn't made it yet. It's not clear whether that will ever.
Hall of Fame. You would think Hernandez has enough to get in eventually. Roman, it's not that he's being out tough. They're both very tough guys. But Salido's greater technique makes him the tougher guy here, because his shots are landing.
Roman is not throwing to hurt from that right hand.
I think Roman is still trying to gather himself. And Salido, but while he's not rushing his offense, and he's placing some beautiful test the chin of Roman to see exactly how hurt he still is.
He may be to the body and one more right hand away from getting
no, because he's not offensive and to be tired, so he must still be hurt.
And I think Salido's counters have disciplined Roman. He's a little bit scared to go in and let his punches go.
But now Roman is beginning to come to life again and goes back.
Oh, that right
good
hand.
hard body shot by Salido. Roman stepping in, short jab, right hand up top. That one hurts Salido. Left hook to the body. Hard shots by Mickey Roman as he pins Salido against the ropes. Now Salido tries to fight his way off the ropes, landing a right hand shot. Great action fight.
Yeah, that's a spectacular scene.
So he'll weather the storm, he'll deal with it temporarily, and then he'll go back to work.
That's exactly right. Salido will be hurt times in the fight, but he used to fight.
Doesn't miss a beat. Here we see an uppercut from Salido and a beautifully timed overhand right from Roman that buzzed Salido. Both fighters are 1-1.
Salido grew up and out. 30 seconds into round number 3. Roman manages to drive Salido back into the ropes again, and here goes Mickey Roman.
The thing that's so brutal about Salido fight, land each shot with such force. It's not just that they're brawling in this terrific, short, hard, pounding, both of them.
Yeah, what really took Salido to a high level was his battle with Francisco Vargas at StubHub Center. Forth with each other. If you saw Vargas earlier this evening in our first fight, part of what he could do, those skills have not yet returned to the level where they were the night that he fought Orlando Salido.
Terrific fights earlier in his career, with tough fights with him.
Lopez was a skilled southpaw, and against the skilled southpaw.
Martinez, they went, to war. I mentioned Cristobal Cruz.
And on and on and on. Roman has fought dozens of guys whose names same kinds of fights all through his career. There you go. Power punches landed this round, both well into double figures.
From Salido.
It's that kind of a feel how good yours is.
Salido wins on toughness and all that, but also he has guile. You know, he's the more clever fighter of these two.
Round 4 of the scheduled 10.
Let him go, let him go, let him go.
Through the first 3 rounds, they've thrown a total of about 8 jabs between them. Everything is tough. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim. This is the kind of fight that's a tough fight to score. But, you know, when I fight head-to-head, toe-to-toe, Orlando Salido is almost unbeatable. He lands that hard right hand. I got it 3-0, 30-27 Orlando Salido, because I think that right hand of Salido's is than the right hand of Mickey Roman.
Is just like this with Salido winning close, king over, and winning the fight ultimately, maybe by stoppage. And so far, it's playing out the way it was anticipated to play.
Good sequence of the right hands from Salido.
Yeah, he landed a couple similar to the ones that he landed in round 1. Mickey Roman took it just a little bit better this time. Right hand for Roman. Salido fires back with combination. Down goes Salido. 11th time he's been knocked down in the last 9 fights. Obligatory early knockdown of Salido takes place in round 4. And now Roman comes on to try to capitalize on having hurt the old man.
This is Roman's whole career right here, guys. Can he finally get over the hump against a guy who fights through?
Big shot in this moment with Ramon overextending himself.
Roman had a up and turn him upside down. But he took it back to firing away.
Moment right there. I think Salido's back. I think his head is clear.
He has extraordinary recuperative power.
They've done that. You know, him being on the canvas. Here we see a good exchange from both fighters. Two-fisted attack. A right and a left. And a grazing right hand from Roman that hits the chin of Salido. Doesn't look very hard, but it's hard enough to put him down. Here we see another angle. Left, right, lands square on the chin. Down goes Salido.
You know, you watch him go down, add up, really. But
that one was well placed and well timed.
Yeah, it's where you get hit. But he really didn't have his legs. I mean, they were not good, and he got up and won the rest of the round.
He recovered, but some of that may just be age. He's been in a lot of wars.
Well, you know, when a guy's in 8 fights coming in, now make it 11 knockdowns in the last 9 fights, you've got to expect at some point.
Guys, even against Mikey Garcia, as I was mentioning, Salido was dropped so many times. He should have been knocked out. He was still coming forward, and it was a technical loss. His left eye is starting to really swell. Left side of his face, his cheekbone.
Well, it was Roman who appeared to me to be swelling in the cheekbone at the end of the last 10-round exchange.
The thing about Salido is he doesn't have normal tough fights. Like, this is an extraordinarily tough action fight. It's par for the course for him, but it's not normal.
No, it's not normal at all. So close in range, but you can see both guys starting to bust up from the inside out because of the body shots, the short uppercuts, the short hooks. Both guys are inflicting a lot of damage on the other one right now.
Which is exactly what we expected, which is exactly what we told you, the audience, you would see. A firefight of the highest order.
This round in particular is such good back and forth inside offense.
If you look at both fighters, I mean, they're rolling, they're trying to avoid some punches, but no, defense is not their game.
They throw down, and just as Salido hurt Roman in the first round, Roman knocked Salido down in the last round, they're both constantly looking, sometimes indiscernible moment when you've gotten the other, and you have to be able to perceive it and realize, okay, that's slightly different than what happened when I hit last time. Sometimes the moment can pass without you really knowing.
Good work from both men right now.
This is extraordinary.
Amazing.
Savage body work.
Easy rounds to score. Here's the 6th of a scheduled 10. Salido starts out to the body in this round. Now brings
one of the things that makes Salido such a great action fighter, maybe the premier action fighter at the moment. Oh, that's a big right hand he landed. is that he is vulnerable. He shows vulnerability, the kind that had you never seen him fight the back and somehow pulls it out often.
And believe it or not, he has a game plan.
Where it's like, well, no, not tonight. Tonight he's going to lose. Is what Matt, just action fighter, but as Larry Merchant used to say about Arturo Gatti, drama fighter. Salido is a real drama fighter.
And at the end of the day, I'm not going to say that it doesn't matter to you whether he won or he lost, but sometimes it's hard to remember whether he won or he lost. I love to go into a boxing discussion with a bunch of people and say, hey, tell me, who won the first Gatti Ward fight? And so many times people get it wrong. Like, how could anybody remember?
Versus Vargas, Salido versus so many guys where you go, who won or lost, you don't remember.
Because the fight
doesn't matter. There's no loser in a fight like that.
The fights are so entertaining that it's almost it doesn't even matter, like you just mentioned, Jim. Both guys win.
In a genuine spiritual sense, in a boxing fans, both fighters win in a fight like that.
Exactly.
But they pay a high price.
And this may not even be your favorite style of fighting, but at the very least, you have to respect both of these guys for the way they put it all on the line.
You know, we talk Salido's crafty. He's also a dirty fighter. Salido hits you low as a point of his strategy. It's a tactic he employs. And he hit Roman low a couple times in this round one with a really effective right hand, and it's helped him in this round. He knows how to do it and get a referee.
The referee has to do his job.
Yeah, but I'm not sure any referee is competent to keep up with everything that Orlando Salido is capable of doing in the ring. And perhaps the only saving grace is that dirty fighters respect other dirty.
In the heat of battle, we see Salido land a big right hand. Those kind of punches have been landing for both fighters all night long. And then we see the low blow that, Max, you mentioned earlier, that the referee didn't warn Salido about, and he might not even have seen it depending on the position he was in.
And look at the grimace on Roman's face. Roman landed a fight-high 27 power shots, and Salido landed a fight-high 28 power shots. And here they are to match again. Now, Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Oh, my goodness. I got it 57-50. You know, Jim, Mickey Roman gets an extra point for the knockdown in round 4. So close. I mean, this fight is about as close as you can get. You know, as I say.
More or less. But you can look at the fighter and see they're not as passionate about what they're doing. And it makes the fight less good. You know, when you see the passion from Roman, you see how extraordinarily emotional it gets between these two guys.
Yeah, and both fighters have to have these wins. We talked about the fans appreciating a good fight like this and maybe not worrying about who the victor is, but both guys really need a victory if they're going to move on to the next stage, because Salido's trying to get another title shot and Roman is trying to get another title shot, and they both have to win tonight in order for that to happen.
Well, we've referred to Vasily Lomachenko and his on-paper loss to Orlando Salido offer to fight Lomachenko in a rematch. And when we asked him, what would it take? Would $1 million get you to do it? And he said, well, maybe. I think that, you know, if Vasily Lomachenko is genuinely thinking of leaving the 130-pound weight class, the one thing that might lure him to stay.
Knocked out in the 12th round, but he deserved the win that he got. He did legitimately win that fight. It was Lomachenko's second pro fight, you know, all that. So he does have that win, and for that reason, it would be an interesting rematch. Roman is showing with the way he's fighting.
Well, this is the fight of Roman's life. I mean, as Andre said it perfectly earlier, you know, this is the Super Bowl for Roman. If he can beat a guy like Salido, that makes his career. He goes back to Juarez and says, I beat Orlando Salido.
And if Salido loses to a guy like Roman, maybe it indicates that he's a half-court low.
Just maybe.
But we've thought that before. What a war. Did 300 punches between them, and most of them are full-on power shots.
Punches, not a chance, Jim. If they've thrown it at you, I'll believe you.
Well, that's between you and CompuBox, Max. But I see what you're saying.
I don't see Willie Pep in there
Every
tonight.
punch makes contact with something.
There's one miss.
Oh, what a Solid left hook to the body by Roman. So Salido comes back with 3. Okay, I've got a left hook. Another hard left hook to the body by Roman. Fighting with a real sense of urgency here in round number 8. Let's see if Salido can match the urgency at age 37. Salido, 22nd year of prize fighting.
So tough, guys. I mean, you're exactly right, Jim. How does he come back every time in every fight from this kind of assault?
Because he's Orlando Salido, that's why.
He's being assaulted here, and he's given as good as he's taken.
All he knows, Max, is to tip with a big shot. If you look at the body of Salido, both sides of his body is red from the body shots of Roman, and he's answering right back.
You know, the Vargas fight was tremendous. It was fight of the year. There's something about this fight.
Down goes Salido, second time in the fight. That's a huge moment for Mickey Roman. Here we
Roman
go.
is fighting with the urgency of a guy who sees his whole career in front of him. And this could turn it all around for him.
No, Max, his career is hanging in the balance. He's 0-2 in world title fights. He doesn't know when he's going to get another opportunity like this. He has to seize the moment right now.
If you could see the face of Mickey Roman at this moment.
This was different even than the Vargas fight, guys, because Roman is a guy who's not trying to go to the scorecards. He's not content with being in a great fight. He's putting it all on the line to win right now.
Salido's hurt. He's throwing back, but he doesn't have a lot on those punches. And that's because he was watching that headshot that put him down.
These are arm punches from Salido, trying to act his way, trying to make Roman think that he's still there. And now he's rallying back to try to give him one last statement before Roman goes to the corner, having won the round.
Beautiful body shot from Roman. Followed up with a headshot, missed an uppercut, landed a left and a right hand and another left, missed the right, but put Salido down, and that time he hurt Salido. Here we see it again, a left, a right, a left. Salido was badly
used to getting almost all the way fading toward the end, and he's not fighting like that tonight.
Mickey Roman, who went back when he was a teenager, knew which person had shot his brother, didn't tell police because he trusted karma to take care of it, and a few willing to wait for satisfaction, frustration, and may finally get it tonight.
Well, Salido's still not
for fading in fights sometimes. He's not fading tonight.
And he's getting a spirited rounds from trainer Rudy Hernandez, for whom it's an equally big night. A chance to make a mark. These years as a cut man and a chief second and a guy in the gym.
I think he hurt Salido again right there. He was a little off balance, but I think he hurt him with that short left uppercut.
For Takashi Miura earlier this year, when Miura knocked out Roman. When we asked Roman, why'd you choose Rudy Fernandez for this fight? He said, well, he was in the corner that beat me. He must know something.
That's a good point.
Down goes Salido again.
Salido just
Robert
quit.
Byrd is going to stop the fight, and Mickey Roman has a career-making win. This was a heart-pounding fight from start to finish, and ultimately, here's how Roman finished it.
Just beautiful work to the body, to the head. Salido goes down, and Roman just beat the fight out of Salido. That's the best way you can put it. I think Max put it as best as you possibly can. Salido has a lot of wars under his belt. I know he had a new training regime for this fight, but off camera, I told Max that Salido just looks tired. If you look in his face before the fight and the fighter meeting, he looks like a fighter who's been through more wars than you can count.